Hey, what's up, people? It's Friday. Just heading home. I hope everybody had a great week. Everybody had a productive week. And the job search is going on, and you guys is hammering away, not giving up. Now, I had a couple of meetings today with some candidates, and really made me want to talk to you guys about some things. Well, actually, one thing in primarily. So one of the candidates I met with, like, we were talking about, in the job search, the things you have control over, and the things you don't have control over. So what I wanted to touch with you guys is, what are the things in your job search you don't have any control over, right? So you might be getting a lack of responses from recruiters, from hiring managers. The whole ATS thing. Everybody's really angry about the ATS thing. I am too. I understand that. And what are some of the other things that really frustrate you about the job search? Maybe you're not getting offers on the table. Now, what I want you to do as an exercise, I want you to take note of what are the things that you do have control over, and those and my tip is those are the things that you guys need to concentrate on and focus on. So what are some examples of things that you do have control over? All right. So in the case of recruiters, hiring managers, people not getting back to you with feedback. Sorry, the sun is right in my face. So what do you have control over in that respect? Well, you have control over follow-up, right? That's something you can control, right? Following up, picking up the phone, calling the recruiter, asking them, hey, what's up? I haven't heard back from you, right? You can send them an email. You can use social media, right? So follow-up is definitely in your control. So that's something you can focus on. Now, in the case of the ATS thing, you're submitting your resume onto the ATS. You're not getting any responses. Maybe your resume is not getting found. Now those things you can't control. You might not be able to control, but what can you control? You can control your resume, right? I mean, your resume is in your hands. You have control over the keywords you put. You have control over reviewing the job description, customizing your resume for the job before uploading it onto the ATS. So that's an example of some of the things you have control over. So what are some other examples you guys can think of? Right? Maybe you're not getting offers on the table. What do you have control over? Well, are you conducting yourself the best way you can at the interview? Right? Are you discovering the employer's needs properly? Are you asking them the right questions? Are you qualifying them? Are you making sure it's the right opportunity? Are you asking them for the job? So those are things that you do have control over, right? So I know it's frustrating. Like, there's a lot of things in the job search and the interview process, working with recruiters, that you don't have control over. But you know what? There's no use getting stressed over the things you can't control, right? So I want you guys to focus on the things you do have control over, because those are the things that you can adjust, that you can, make those pivots and changes and alterations and, all of that. So that's my advice for you guys today on Friday. No matter how bad your week was, how good your week was, take note of the wins, take note of how, all the positive things that went well. And even any of the losses, right? I mean, there's always something that you can learn from those as well. So my tip for today, my piece of advice that I want you guys to take into next week with you, focus on the things you can control. So actually, you know what? Take a piece of paper right now, or after you're done watching this video. I want you to take a piece of paper, write down all the things that aren't going well for you in the job search process. And instead, I want you to write down all the things that you do have control over. So I want you to flip those negatives. So write down those negatives and write down, okay, what do I have control over that can change this and increase my odds, increase the odds in my favor. So those are the things I want you guys to focus on. So again, bottom line, focus on the things you do have control over. And I guarantee that's gonna give you some positive results. If nothing else, it's gonna make you feel more in control. It's gonna make you feel more positive. And it'll give you results in your search in some way or the other, whether it's recruiters finally getting back to you, hiring managers finally getting back to you, your resume getting found on the ATSs. So again, for the 100th time, focus on the things you do have control over. And have a great weekend, and I'll see everybody next week. Take care. Enjoy your weekend.